Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Hello, all you paranormal freaks. It's the last Saturday of the month, and you know what that means. The veil is at its thinnest. So if you're brave enough, all of you hitchers and drifters, load up for a ride with Golden Jade and Logan as they traverse to the other side.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with
his co-host and future ghost, just Logan.
Welcome back, man. It seems like forever since I've seen you.
It's true. It's been a little bit. This one got stretched out. And then also, I did the interview halfway through last month, but that wasn't you. I guess you were there.
I was there.
Just not
I was hanging out. You hear me chime in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, as always, you had a birthday since the last time we spoke. So happy birthday.
Yeah, I had a lot of things.
Yeah. You
got a busy month.
An engagement in there.
Yeah. Engagement, record with the call guys 3 times, a bunch of streams, just a bunch of stuff. Nonstop. May was busy.
Does June look just as busy?
No, that shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I guess I'm still getting used to the streaming schedule.
Right.
Because now I have content I do every Wednesday and Sunday, and those can go from 2 hours to 4 hours, just depending on how much the crowd's into it and if they want to keep going, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you want to keep your streamer or people that are on the stream happy, so...
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's a big change of pace because I'm used to like the slow format of putting out a podcast and you start hearing from people like a day or two or a week later. Hell, some people just start listening and you get a message from them about an episode that's 2 years old.
Right.
And then with Twitch, it's just instant. It's just nonstop. So.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works out. I know that when we used to do the lives, back in the old Golden Image radio days, it was like you get on and if you miss it, there was no going back.
Yeah.
But you could have instantaneous conversations with people all over the place who were watching. It was cool that way. But
that's the format I'm in because I don't save my streams. So
you don't.
When mine's done, it's done.
Right. On.
It's just a better precaution because I watch content while doing it.
Right.
So like it's better to not have it saved in case like some random bot or person is like, I'm gonna copyright strike this guy. I'm like, you can copyright strike like what? There's nothing there. It's gone.
Yeah. All I know is that I eventually miss having those old ones stuffed away.
Yeah.
Back in the day we had a DVD recorder and a camera, and then we just audioed into that, and then so we have some of them, which if you watched any of the old Golden Image podcast stuff, we did a lot of those old ones, but so we got some of them, but there's a couple of them that I'm like, man, whatever happened to this one? And I can't find it anywhere, so it's insane.
The only downside with mine is people have the ability to clip me at any point in time. So, and it saves to the page, so people will clip me at like the worst possible moments of stuff and just save it there. And then that gets saved to the page. So
So you got one of those really bizarre faces on that they've clipped?
Oh, it's worse. It's like I'm watching crazy-ass Japanese shows that were made for kids and stuff, and like 1 week the bad guy was a vacuum cleaner that got turned sentient, and he yells "gonna suck," and I also yelled "gonna suck" like at the top of my lungs, and it got clipped and thrown in there. So it's stuff like
that's
that.
funny. That's funny. You did. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about the Call Guys. You did a 3-episode jaunt with the Call Guys, all about the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
From the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, the movie.
Yep.
And then you guys covered Turbo.
And then Saban's Power Rangers from 2017.
Right. I didn't get in. I started to watch Turbo, and then I did not get it anywhere near finished. I think maybe I got through the first 15 minutes, and I have not had a chance to go back and finish it. Of course, I did after that episode. Did go back and watch the original, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. And then, of course, after today's thing, I kind of watched the 2017 Saban Power Ranger movie, and you guys kind of shit on that one a little bit about a lot of different things, but the whole Kimberly deal and different things like that. But I went back and watched it, and I'm like, for a quote unquote Power Rangers movie, I mean, the action and shit that's in this movie I thought was really, really good. And, it's a little darker than what a normal Power Rangers movie would be, but I actually enjoyed it. I remember watching it originally, when it came out on DVD or whatever, but, and I enjoyed it then, and I really actually enjoyed it. I didn't get all the way through it, but because I've been busy doing other things, but it was on and the whole, I sent her nude pics, and I'm like, why would you even write that in? Give her something else to be bad about.
We gave it a lot of shit, but we still rated it higher than I think we rated any of the other ones. But it's just, it wasn't about the action or anything. It was just like the character development was really rough. Like I said, like you're supposed to, whoever wrote it wanted you to feel bad for Kimberly, but it was really hard to feel bad for because she was the bad guy. Her friends sent her a nude for whatever reason. I don't know if girls do that or not. If they're like, hey, how do I look today naked? Because, I mean, I don't have that kind of experience with my friends. And then she sent it to a dude and was like, is this what you want in a girlfriend? And then to make this point to somebody, she was like, I'm a monster. I did this. And he's like, you're not that bad. And then she shows the dude the picture. So one, like, why do you still have the picture? 2, you just showed another guy. And then every time they showed those other girls on screen, they try to make them like they were the bad guy. They're like, they don't want to be her friend anymore. And you're just like, I wouldn't want to be her friend anymore either. And then later they show the same girl that got her nude showed to everybody get a putty dropped on her car, and Kimberly's like, serves you right. And you're like, for what? She's just a victim, like over and over again.
I did chuckle about that because I did hear that part of the Call Guys, and then when it happened in the movie, I'm like, yep, there it is.
Yeah, like, what? I don't know what the writer was thinking with that. Like, it could have been something more relatable, something that like you could have been like, I understand that. Like maybe some girl picked on her and she beat her ass a little too hard or something. She was like, I feel bad because I acted out. And you're like, but it's understandable. But it's like the whole nude thing was just like, it was icky.
I really think you need to go back and try to figure out why she sent her that picture in the first place. I mean, why would you send that picture to begin with?
Maybe it's a thing girls do. Maybe it's like, how am I looking naked today, guys? And like 10 out of 10, you're looking good. I don't know. I can't speak from that experience. I'm a dude with dude friends, so.
Yeah, what Kyle will send you a nude pic and be like,
how
you doing? How am I looking today, bro?
I hope not. Oh, I'm good. But it was a fun series to do. I'm bummed it's over because it's cool hanging out with the Skywalker and Chico and Colton. Because like every time I get with Skywalker and Chico, it's just like going back to childhood. You know?
Right.
It's just nowadays Gunner's a little bit more coherent. There's a little bit of an age gap there back in the day, and it's always fun getting Colton's opinion on it, and like seeing me and Skylar both talking shit on Turbo in our first podcast,
right?
And then we watched Turbo again, and we're both like, we liked it. We had a good time. Like, it was better. And watching Colton get a little disappointed in us when we said that.
Let me tell you, I hated the 3-part series for one single reason. It wasn't the content, it wasn't the movies, it wasn't anything like that. But after I listened to each one of those podcasts, I would spend the rest of my fucking day running around going, "Go, go, Power Rangers!"
It happens. It happens. I mean, 2 out of 3 of those movies had that in it.
Oh, so pissed. I'd finish the episodes like, oh, it was really good. They really covered a lot of different things. And then for the rest of the day, go, go, Power. Like, fuck. Just make it stop. Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out. Get it out.
It seems like a lot of people enjoyed it. I had Mason messaging me on Facebook, basically live streaming what he was thinking because he was watching it, messaging me as he was listening to it. And it seemed to make him want to go back and watch Power Rangers, which I'm all about. So the more people I can get to join the cult, the better.
Well, and you know that he posted on Facebook of him watching.
Yeah, I seen that.
Watching. I think Turbo at least, but yeah.
I had a large conversation with people in that the comment section of that.
Yeah, Mason's been quite busy on Facebook in support of United States Paranormal, and we so appreciate it. You know, I think he had one comment. I need more banter or something like that. You know, he's had some great comments, and so yeah, we much appreciate the support, Mason. I will actually, as we record this on Monday night, I will see him tomorrow night as he comes on for the Battle of Missouri.
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So I was IMing with him a little bit today about it. So looking forward to it. You know, 4 stories. Who's going to win the battle? Watch out.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you went over there. I don't know if Mason regularly listens to the Call Guys, but I was happy to see when he messaged me. I was happy to see that he was listening to the episode and taking it in and everything. It's like I said, it's the Call Guys are fantastic. I love being on there. I give them shit, but I don't give them nowhere near as much shit as everybody else at this point. I
don't know what you're talking about.
ISO put Colton on blast the other episode, like hardcore.
Dude, I couldn't, and we'll talk about that in a little. We'll hold on to that one.
But it was a great time. It just doing stuff like that makes me wish I could do more stuff with the boys. Like I said, especially Skywalker is not a person I get to interact with as much. Like I talk to Chico fairly regularly, being in the podcast universe with them. I talk to you all the time.
Right.
I don't get to talk to Skywalker a whole lot, and like I said, when we were little, we were tight. We liked everything we liked together. So right. It's always good to get in a room with them and talk and have a good time with the boys. Oh, and also, It's always nice to sit down without a script when you're podcasting. That's my favorite kind of podcasting, where I don't have to read off a piece of paper or anything. That's the best.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's a lot better to kind of go with the flow and you know, Frankie Vegas is really a lot about that. He loves that. He loves the podcast that way also, and you know, sometimes you can't do it that way. Sometimes you got to have a story. Yep. So.
Well, one day me and Frankie will have a show where it's just me and him, and we just sit there and we rattle off whatever is going on in our minds, no script or nothing. We'll do it. We'll have the Logan and Frankie show, and there'll be like all of 2 listeners, but it'll be worth it.
It's coming. Watch out.
Well, no, Colton will listen. Colton listens just to see if anybody's talking shit.
You know, as much shit as we do give Colton, I mean, he is a dedicated Golden Mojo entertainment listener. He listens to all of them. He's
gotta do it just to know who's throwing shade at his way so he can combat it.
Well, you know, he starts a lot of it, so, you know, we just, that's why it keeps going.
Listen, if we ever do the Frankie and Logan show, Colton, I guarantee there will be no Colton shade in that one. It'll be hard. It'll be hard for Frankie because he's in a pattern of it.
Yeah, he's got it bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Call Guys, they did release some brand new merchandise. It is the IPA shirt, the Infant Pale Ale, and if you need the story, go back and listen to the Call Guys from this last Monday. It would be the I don't even know what episode number that is.
Where Colton was the last person to find out about it. Like, I had already seen it. Skywalker knew about it, and Colton was like, "The what?"
Well, here's what bummed me out, and I told this to Chico tonight when I talked to him. He did not drop the tagline for this Infant Pale Ale. You know, he's like, he got Golden Mojo Brewing in there, Infant Pale Ale, but he never said it's not your mama's milk. Which is, I think, the seller of that particular item there. So he needs to go back and let me come back strong with it being, it's not your mother's milk.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for making your own designs. And I mean, right now I'm wearing my own shirt. Esteban made up this design for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And there's your son rode this when he was a kid. I got a video of it. This is the oldest toy I have. It's Oli. And I did a play on OnlyFans. I wrote OnlyFans and had Esteban whip it up for me. I wear that nowadays. All I wear is other people's merch that I'm supporting or my own. Like, this has got its own tag where it's got my name on it.
Nice.
I just want to rep people that are being creative.
Hey, it's important.
It absolutely is. That being said, go check out plug it, Jeremy. Plug it, the website. I'm always bad at this.
The United States of Paranormal.com.
I was going with the golden one. I can do the United States of Paranormal one. That one's easy.
It is goldenmojoent.com, where you can find all of your Golden Mojo Entertainment Empire merchandise from the Call Guys, Indiana Chiefs fans.
You got your Infant Pale Ales. You got your Frankie Vegas crop tops or T-shirts. You got your Call Guys Mighty Morphin Rotten Ranger shirts. You got Indiana Chiefs fans. You got everything. You got the now defunct Court of Books and Booze T-shirts on there.
Yep, very true. Very true.
Anything you want, they got it.
Oh, there's a Nerds merch on there too, so go check that out. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything going on in there. And of course, we keep adding, like I said, the Frankie Vegas shirts and the Infant Pale Ale. Trying to think what else.
You need when you reboot the Murd Nerds, you need a Murd Nerd shirt that is a milk carton with the missing thing on it. It's just a picture of you on there.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. That's pretty good. Looking lost.
Looking lost.
Me. That's me every fucking day these days. I
feel that lost. In my soul.
Trying to make sure I schedule out everything. We are recording on Monday this week. Normally we record like Wednesday or Thursday night. Of course, I think Wednesdays are out because you're streaming Sundays and Wednesdays now. So
Sundays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock Central. Central's what I am.
Right on.
Central.
But here's my week schedule. So I'm recording with you tonight, Monday. Tomorrow night we're doing the TUSOP. Normally record on Wednesday. We're swapped it up so that we can go to my niece's high school graduation on Wednesday.
Oh man, she's graduating high school.
Can you believe it?
That makes me feel old as shit.
You are old as shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then Thursday night, I will be recording with the Call Guys as we throw out our top 10 favorite movies. Me and Colton are going to do top 10. Chico's going to get his next 10, which would be the top 20. So it ought to be interesting. Might be a long episode because of what they asked me to do. So
top 10 is a scary thing for movies. Like, every time I think about it, I'm like, I feel like I'm going to leave something out that is important to me, movie wise.
Seriously. I sat down and started going through like my Voodoo and you know, all these things that I have, and I'm like writing movies down, and my list is a complete page of movies that I love and would watch over and over again, and I had to pick 10 of them out of there. Yeah,
because it's one thing to be like, horror was hard for me. Like, that was hard. And
right.
I had to break it down. I had to be like, I had to put down stuff for me. I'm like, it can't be this, this, and this. I had to do something to slim it down. But to be like top 10 all time,
yeah,
that requires a level of confidence that is nerve wracking. Like, it's just like, because you feel like as soon as it's done and published, you know something's gonna happen, and you're gonna be like, why did I leave this out? And just like, it's a daunting task.
every time. So I mean, but yeah, I've been working on that list for about 2 weeks now, and getting all the information down, and rotating the numbers. It's like, no, this one really should be in the top 5, and this one probably should drop down here. And then you're like looking at the list, going, man, I should really put this one. And then
it's hard.
It's soul crushing.
Well, yeah, because you think about it, and like I said, there's a lot of movies that movies shape a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
because like the dialogue, like you watch a movie so much as a kid or a teenager, the dialogue shapes you. That harkens me back to you and Frankie Vegas the other day, talking about the remake of Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
and how you guys were shitting on that, and I was like, I love that movie, but like I loved homeboy that played Stifler.
Right, yeah,
because I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I love that movie because like growing up in Southeast Texas, like you grew up with a certain version of Dukes of Hazzard. Yep. And so did my cousins that live in Texas, but I get here and I deal with their Southeast Texas asses for the first summer I moved to Texas. And like that's what Southerners acted like when that movie was happening. That's what they acted like at that current time. And I was like, they fucking nailed it on the head there. So with like the original Dukes of Hazzard, I'm sure they had their finger on the pulse for that. They're like, this is what Southern guys of this age act like. And then when they went to do a Johnny Knoxville and, God, I cannot remember Stifler's name. But everybody knows who we talk about when we say Stifler.
Right, absolutely. We're going to get an email from ISO. It's like, you bastards.
I'm sure. I'm not good at actors' names. But like when they went to make that movie, they had their finger on the pulse with how young Southern dudes acted back then because that's how they acted. They were reckless. They liked screwing. And they were not discriminate about, weed on the side of alcohol. And, Willie Nelson is Uncle Jesse. I loved it.
Well, like we talked about after ISO sent the email in, Stifler, I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of everything he's done, from American Pie to
absolutely
to the Rundown.
The Rundown.
Yeah.
Great movie.
But for me, like you said, I grew up with this persona of what the Dukes of Hazzard was, and then to get this movie, for me, was just, it was a miss. I mean, it just didn't hit like the original. And once again, if you guys love it, I'm all for it. I mean, I don't have a problem with you loving it. I'm not gonna, piss and moan about the whole thing with anybody because you like this movie and I didn't. I mean, that's the joy of being where we are in this world.
I feel like it would have hit. I think it would have hit a little bit better for like people of your generation if they would have, instead of making that the Bo and Luke Duke, have it be the next generation.
Right.
Because you could still have like Bo and Luke, the OG Bo and Luke just chilling, being older, sitting on the porch, like filling the Uncle Jesse role.
Right.
And have the other guys be the new version. Because like I feel like I said, I feel like they hit the generational gap really well with like that's what Southern people acted like at that time.
Gotcha.
So you can mix the both. But they just went with the reimagining, like what if the Dukes of Hazzard happened nowadays?
Now, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like I said, it's is it Sean Penn Scott or something like that? I feel like that's close.
You're close. It's something William Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, something William Scott. I feel like it might be Sean. I have a phone. I'm just going to use it.
I know it, and I'm sitting here trying to think about it, and of course, we're just fueling the DeLorean. That's all it's about.
Absolutely. But like I said, Stifler. I grew up with Stifler and all the American Pies, and like that's shaped my vocabulary clearly. That's one of the few. That and Kevin Smith movies. As Sean William Scott. There we go.
Sean William Scott, yeah. So it is Sean, yeah.
Like still this day because of Stifler, when I'm struggling to do something, I finally get through with it, I fucking go, fucking right, doggy. It's just in there.
I guess you could flash back to a lot of different, how many times have you just done something and somebody said something and you just go, alrighty then.
Yeah. There's one thing that I harken back to, like I don't know why I'm saying harken back to so much. What the fuck that's about. But maybe somebody out there in podcast world knows what it's from. I don't know where I got it, but like for decades now, and I can say decades, I'm 33. I've lived through a few of them. Like, if I'm struggling, like opening something or doing something, my go-to phrase, and you could ask my fiance about that, Kayla, is "give it up, prom date." Like when I'm trying to, and I know it's from a movie or something that I watched as a kid, but like I cannot for the life of me find what that's from at all. And I know it's from a movie or a TV show, but that has been my go-to for decades now. Like anytime I'm struggling with something, I just yell "give it up, prom date." That's it. I know I said it once in front of my dad, and he looked bewildered and befuddled all at the same time. He was like, "What the fuck did you just say to that pickle jar?" And I was just like, "It helps motivate me. It works out. It's fine."
Trying to get a little action over here, Dad. Just chill.
So I guess it's my power phrase. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey,
whatever works.
Whatever works is exactly what I was about to say. I did just get off YouTube before I signed in here to watch the Deadpool bucket commercial.
Yeah, I explained that to the call guys. Watching Colton's face as he watched that video was worth it because boy did they sell that thing.
And then I caught an SNL skit about the Dune bucket, which was
I'm gonna lose my virginity to the Dune popcorn bucket.
Which you guys haven't seen now is fucking hilarious. Go check it out.
One was the Dune one was like, what the fuck? How did that get past marketing? Like straight up, like I don't know how, but it did. And then Deadpool is just genius marketing. They're like, we're Deadpool. We're not going to be out raunchied by a sandworm accidentally being sexy. They were like, we're going to make it to where it's like they were just pouring butter over Wolverine's face. Just dripping down it. Oh,
yeah.
That thing's going to sell out. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna sell out, and it's gonna be people are gonna be selling it for $200 on eBay, and people will be buying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what they do to it in the privacy of their home is their own business.
Put a little butter in there, and I'm going to the men's room.
Dude, it's so bad because like the Dune one had people being like getting on Instagram and stuff and being like, I'm gonna see if this works the way people think it works, and people were putting fleshlights in the bucket and screwing the lid on, and it fits level. And they're like, it fits. It's in there. It's sturdy. And you're like, what? Some guy in the Dune marketing place was like, yeah, this is what I want. And then like they're like, yeah, that's fine. He was like, what? You got approved? All right.
Ship it.
Yeah.
Make it. I wonder, after I spent several hours watching the oh God, what was it? The Dark Side of Nickelodeon show or whatever that. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh,
Quiet on the Set, I think is what it was called.
There you go.
After watching that and all the things that those guys, that they say those guys allegedly, put in there, I'll leave it at that, so I don't leave myself wide open for any ridicule or the copyright infringement or anything like that. But I wonder if that kind of fell in the same lines as somebody was like, hey, watch this, let's see what we can get away with.
Yeah, it's either let's see what we can get away with, or like, let's see if I can get my fetish made and on the mass market so I have easy access to it. But either way, that popcorn bucket sure as shit sold out after it got on there. So, like, either way, job well done. Like, you can't really fire the guy because, like, it looks like a sex toy. And you're like, but did it sell? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it did.
And how many of them did you sell? And you go, all of them. Yeah, fuck.
Yep. I don't have to tell you. It did what it needed to do.
Yep, absolutely.
He's in charge of marketing, and his job was to sell a Dune popcorn bucket. And let me tell you, that wasn't on anybody's fucking radar.
Nope.
It was like, sure, Dune did great. People liked it. Whatever, but like nobody was like, I need to go to theaters and get a Dune popcorn bucket. That thing fucking showed up on social media, Everybody was like, "Oh, I absolutely need this. I need 2 of them if I can get it. Fuck it, I can resell one for $200."
Absolutely. Just like you guys need to go to UnitedStatesParanormal.com and pick up your Parafeet shirt.
There you go.
Everybody needs a Parafeet shirt.
That's our closest thing to a fetish thing that we got on there. You want to see some feets? Go get it.
That's your Aunt Bobby's feet.
Yeah, I know. I listened to Chico sounding super uncomfortable when you were talking about the pair of boobs shirt, and he was like, "Please don't. Please don't."
I have permission to go and actually get a model for the pair of boob shirt. So since I'm not allowed to in-house source those boobs.
Well, there was an old podcast I listened to called Werewolf Ambulance, and somehow when they were reviewing the Paranormal Activity, one of them fucked up and said pair of normal active titties, and that became their thing. That would be perfect for that.
Oh, always thinking.
You gotta keep those gears going, sir. That's marketing.
That's really, yeah. Oh, need as much help marketing as I can possibly get. I'll tell you what. Between coming up with ideas and actually executing ideas, those are always 2 different things. So,
speaking of ideas and marketing, United States of Paranormal at Patreon.
Yep.
Plug that with your wisdom there, because like I said, I don't know the link.
With my wisdom, listen, we have some great subscribers so far, and I appreciate all of them. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We have got out the new trivia and a new reaction. So videos out on the top tier. And we have some response from Mason was IMing me about the trivia and how much he enjoyed it. So if you guys are part of it, appreciate it. If you want to be a part of it, just go to patreon.com/TUSOP. We have 3 tiers. We have the $3 tier, we have the $6 tier, and we have the $12 tier. And the $12 tier is where you're going to get all the extra stuff. And when I mean extra, we've got reactions, we've got trivia. We just shot new reactions and new trivia that are out fucking standing, with a rocker chick screaming into the microphone.
Oh, man. I guess since our trivia is out, I can fucking absolutely say that we got duped.
We did.
We got duped. I was told I took it easy. Yep. I was nice, and J-Dub come at us fucking sideways.
Yeah, who the hell ever heard of Terra something that fucking...
It was dirty.
It
was. I'm over here with like I'm doing T-ball. You know, I'm setting the ball up on there. But like, you can hit this. And meanwhile, she's coming out of those like, who? This actor, and this actor, and this. And I'm like, oh... I'm not good with actor names. Never in my life have I ever been good with actor names. And she came out with us like, what was the camp's name from Sleepaway Camp? And I was like, I watched that movie once because it was rough.
Well, let me tell you, I brought Chico Noise from the Call Guys in to host the last trivia game, and he did amazing. He put together the questions. And, you know, we drew poker chips to see who would go first and who got what list, because nice. I had him make up 3 lists, and that way there was no favoritism. Like, okay, this is my mom's list, this is my dad's list, you know, this is J-Dub's list. There was no favoritism. We drew chips, and it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing another one with him.
So we go at it Jeopardy style. So everybody has a little bit of something they can go for. It'd be like, right. You've got like 6 lists there. It'd be like, you've got like, I'll go for horror for 20, Alex. And then they'll also have like, I'll go for bands for 15, Alex. You know, a little bit of something for everybody.
Right.
Because us going in it with picking questions for our opposition did not go well for us. Because I was like, I don't want to be too mean, so I was like, I'll go mainstream horror, I could have been like, hey, who was the actor that gave the handy in fucking Chopping Mall? But I was like, I'll be nice. And meanwhile, J-Dub fucking stomped my ass.
Hey, I knew I was in trouble going into it. I don't think
you looked at me with like panic in your eyes, like Logan, and I was like, I ain't got this. I was not prepared.
Well, Chico took it. He had some really good questions, but he covered more TV and movies, a little more mainstream. So yeah, it's going to be. I don't think it's going to come out until beginning of July, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll bring it out in July. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so July 1st that'll be out. So if you haven't joined the Patreon at patreon.com/TUSOP, go join up and show your support for the show. Let us know how much that you love us, and we'll let you know how much we love you. Of course, with every membership, every paid membership, I am going to mail you a autographed United States Paranormal poster. So even if you sign up for the tier number 1, $3 tier, I'm sending you a poster. So,
and I'll be signing some of those in August.
Yes, you will. I'm bringing them with me when we're heading down. We were just talking about that tonight.
Work on my signature so it doesn't look like random bullshit.
Oh, you got to see the rocker chicks. This looks like random bullshit.
That's fair.
But yeah, so patreon.com/TUSOP. Go check it out. And for those who have actually signed up, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Love the support. Thank you so much.
I wish copyright wasn't like such a monster nowadays, because I would love to just like do a little like TUSOP extra for like the big tier. Just be like, sit down an old school DJ like recording for like sit in a booth, sit there with your headphones on and be like, next up we're gonna play the Monster Mash by blah blah blah, and just have like have a segment. But you can't do that nowadays because they'll come at you sideways.
True. I'll tell you what I do. What we got planned for the top tier, we are going to do the Dirty Dad jokes.
There you go. Yep.
We've been working on that. Everything is in play except we had an original date. We had to pivot on that, so we're going to be recording that later this month or the beginning of next month. We are going to do the day in the life, so each of us are going to record our daily goings on. Hopefully that's not going to be too much editing, because I can't even fucking imagine what that's going to be like. But I'd love to, and let me show you this. I got it sitting right here. I'd love to do this, and I think we can pull it off without getting in too much trouble. I have right here the actual DVD of A Haunting. This is Eternal Grief. And we are talking about sitting down and color commentarying while watching this together.
That's dope.
So that is in the plans. I was going to make that like a really top tier, but I don't think we need to do that. I think we'll put it in the top.
It just hit me like with that, and if we ever want to do the radio thing we just said, we literally, with the Patreons, we have the access to literally send them a link to a locked away YouTube video.
Right.
So technically we could do anything, really.
Absolutely.
Because it's a private video. So that color commentary is completely possible, and maybe one day we'll get Gold J and me, we sit down, we do a radio show, late night radio show.
Hey, that'd be fun.
We'll send it out to people. I would love to be like, sit there. The radio DJ has lost a lot of power throughout the decades, and it's shameful because there's nothing like late night radio. It's the guy that's not like the main DJ. It's the guy that's getting that, hey, I'm here from 11 o'clock to 5 a.m. in the morning, and we're going to get fucking weird.
Right.
But we'd be able to curse, That
is the beauty. That is the beauty of what I've done over the years. Is that
absolutely.
everything There is no FCC regulations or anything like that. So I'm loving it.
You just be sitting down, be like 3 a.m. in the morning, be like, can you believe Taco Bell took the cheesy enchilada melt off the fucking menu? Fuck them. Now we're going to play Let's Get It Up by AC/DC. All right, we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Be back in 3 and 3.
That's what I want to do. I have a passion for it. I did that back in high school. I will say this unshamelessly, but like back in high school, after I got broke up by a girl, I sat at my computer in the washer and dryer room in our old house in Marysville, and I recorded a radio session where I was talking, and I'd play a song, and I printed it out on DVDs, and I just handed it out at school. I was like, you want to hear me radio DJ? And they're like, sure, and just handed it out. That's a good time.
It is fun. It is a good time. All right, man. We're 40 minutes into our into
that's
our
how we
show
do
today.
here at TUSOP.
The way we roll. This is the other side.
People expect it from here.
That's right. Well, let's get into today's program, shall we?
Yes, sir. I've got it. May 1st, y'all kick things off with We Are Paranormal, which, sir, WAP.
WAP.
You understand what WAP? Why he giggled about WAP, right?
Oh.
You understand?
No, hit me with it.
Okay, because like he was giggling and you were like, "Yeah, WAP," and I was like, "I don't think Jeremy understands why he's giggling." That's because there was that big old rap song a couple years ago that was WAP, which the acronym was for Wet Ass Pussy.
Oh,
yeah. And he was like, "That's why people." He was like, "People look at our shirts and they're like, hey," and you're like, "Yeah, but it's We Are Paranormal." That's some marketing right there. I'll give it up to Nathan for that.
Oh, I thought it was great because if you went to their Facebook page, I mean, their shirts just say WAP really big. Oh,
absolutely. That's marketing right there.
Yeah.
There was even Richard Cheese, which if people have watched the remake of Dawn of the Dead, Richard Cheese is like a Frank Sinatra type of crooner.
Uh-huh.
And he covers current music. And in the Dawn of the Dead, he covered Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, but he sang it like Frank Sinatra would sing it. Instead of like the screamo stuff, he was like, ooh, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. He covered that Wet Ass Pussy song in that crooner style, and it is amazing. But Nathan Hopwood sat down with y'all and walked you through his cruise day to day and some of his favorite locations and equipment.
Yeah,
and that was a great episode. I'm sad that the rest of his crew couldn't pop in, but I feel like Nathan did his job through and through. Like he had some great content. He walked us through the day and day of Paranormal Investigator, and I thought it was a fantastic episode.
Yeah, I really, it's one of those reach outs of, we ran across and we're like, hey, these guys seem pretty cool. We did it with Boozy Bros. We did it with SIP, and we reached out and they accepted. We had a hiccup, we had a couple hiccups along the way, but we finally got it taken care of. We got him on. And I was a little nervous going into this because you go in with these people you don't really know, and you just kind of hope for the best. And that dude was amazing to sit down and talk with, and he was real open about a lot of things, and really enjoyed working with him. So hopefully we'll get a chance to hang out with him again, maybe when they get closer, because they're really not that far away from us. Because they're up in Minnesota, I think was right.
Yeah, it's not
Minnesota.
Bad. It would be interesting to meet other members of his crew also.
Yeah.
If they had the time to get in. Because like when you had Boozy Bros, you had more than one of the members on the team pop up. It would be interesting to meet a few other members of his team and see what their favorite haunts were and some of the experience that they've had. Because everybody's different. Everybody has a different piece of equipment they like. Everybody has a different haunt that they had more experience at. It's always good to hear from multiple sources.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, what a great interview and what a great time hanging out with him. And he seemed like just one of us, real laid back and easy going. And you know how we are.
Oh, absolutely. It's always I just threw my whole mouse there. Hold on one second. It's always nice to have somebody that just clicks with the podcast crew like right off the bat, because he, like I said, he just hopped right in there. He came off naturally. It was a joy to listen to, and I hope he comes back. And like I said, maybe next time we can have the rest of his crew with him.
Let's hope so. We will definitely have to reach out to him again.
Absolutely. So May 8th, we had the rocker chick covered the House of Death. Built somewhere in the 1850s, this house was once home to Mark Twain, but is currently home to a plethora of spirits. Seeing well over 22 deaths in this house, this is not surprising. Normally, the benefit to haunting a home is that only haunts one family at a time. Not in this case, when the casa... good Lord, I lost my spot there. Not this case with this casa, seeing how they converted it into the building into 10 separate apartments. Outside of the ghostly cat, woman in white, and what's claimed to be the actual spirit of Mark Twain himself, the home faced true horror in 1987 when Joel Steinberg murdered his illegally adopted daughter and had tied a toddler to a playpen, leaving the adolescent emaciated and covered in filth.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was a wild, crazy story. A lot of things going on in that house.
Well, it's just like when you get into these older structures, you know, they have such a vast history. It's like, of course, it's going to get haunted. Now, if Mark Twain lived there for like a year.
Yeah, he didn't live there very long.
Exactly. So, when people are like, I saw Mark Twain's ghost, you get a little skeptic. You're like, he lived a decent... He didn't live a super long life, but he lived long enough. You're like, you think he's going to choose to haunt the
place he lived for 1 year?
But maybe it's not a choice. Maybe, you know, Mark Twain cut his toenails there and it slipped between a floorboard, and that's what's tying him to this earth. You know, you never know. I can't say what entails a haunting. I don't know if it's what you leave behind or how much you like the place or how much you dislike the place, you know.
I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird that they referenced. I mean, like you said, it was their year and now he haunts it, but he didn't die there. You know, and that's, you know, that always seems to be kind of the go with the flow, is this is where that person died, whether it's on the side of a road somewhere, you know, falling off a bridge, in an apartment. You know, it just always seems like that is the case. So, you know, John Lennon died in front of the Dakota.
Yeah.
You know, and they say he still haunts the apartment that he lived in. So I mean, you know, that was his home and he lived there for a long period of time. He died there. It would make sense. Mark Twain lived there a year, didn't die there. It just doesn't make sense. So, but like I said, if toenails are there, and maybe that's the key.
If I learned anything from Supernatural, is you can't rule it out. Like, somebody might leave a weird clipping of hair, you know, God knows what else, fluids there. You never know. That might be what ties into that location. You know, Yoko Ono? Yoko Ono claims that John Lennon still haunted that apartment, and she was still renting it, last time I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if your DNA is going to be anywhere, it's going to be in the place of your residence.
Yep.
Maybe it is.
Yoko.
If he if he has to spend the rest of his life haunting Yoko, there's worse things, I guess. Hell. I
mean, really? Do you think that which would be worse?
I'll take hell.
Yeah,
if I get to the pearly gates and they're like, man, you didn't make the cut, you're going to hell, or you can go chill with Yoko Ono in her apartment, I'm like, let me find out about hell. Let's see what it's like. It can't be that bad.
Oh, man.
Not listening to Yoko scream singing. I'm out. Absolutely pass. So, after that, we had May 15th, which was the 20s. Wait, hold on here. May 15th, and I wrote this super fucking weird, apparently.
I said, what did you do to your notes, man?
Oh, sorry. Here we go. It's because this was a two-part episode, technically.
It was.
May 15th and the 22nd, we had stories and evidence. The first email being Larissa, who sent in a story that happened during her childhood, with her mom hearing what she thought was Larissa giggling, so she got up and walked across the room to check on her to see what her daughter was so giggly about in the middle of the night. When she got to the crib, she felt a bump on her chest and heard something fall. That something was a Raggedy Ann doll, and she seen that her daughter was in fact still asleep. By the time she got back into her bed, it dawned on her. If the baby was asleep, it wasn't her giggling. She then proceeded to spend the rest of the night with her head under the covers.
Oh, yeah, what a great story. I remember the first time I got, that has been in my pocket for a hot minute. And the first time I heard it, it gave me goosebumps. I'm like, holy shit, I love this story.
I love that her mom was just so straightforward with her. She's like, listen, I lay down in bed and I realized, oh no, it's a ghost. And instead of going and getting her baby, she was like, she pulled a blanket over her head and she was like, nope.
Nope.
That's fine.
Hope you're okay in there. It'll be all right.
Good luck, infant child. You hang out with that haunted Raggedy Ann doll. I'm just going to sit here and hope it doesn't come over here and giggle at me because I am not prepared.
I know, right? Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'd like to say in that scenario, I would grab my kids and leave, but like her mom was sharing the room with her at that point. The crib was in the room. I imagine it's really hard to get up after that. Like, she's so sleepy. She heard it, walked over there. It's like, oh, she's asleep. It's fine.
Right.
After feeling like a weird bump against her chest and seeing that it was the doll that fell, and she walks all the way back to her bed, gets tucked in, about ready to close her eyes again, and then she's like, her eyes pop up, and she's like, wait. The kid is asleep. My husband is asleep. The giggling was neither of them. And then she just slowly just pulls the blanket up over her face. And she was like, nah, I'll deal with this in the morning.
Yep, exactly.
And by deal with this, I mean hope that my kid is still there. And best case scenario, the Raggedy Ann doll has left the building. It has just decided to fuck off. I'd be putting that doll out on the curb in the morning. Bare minimum. I can tell you that.
Yeah, there's been many dolls left on your curb, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you gotta get rid of them, you know? They start being a little creepy or a little stinky. Take them to the curb.
Let
them go. Let them go.
That's
Larissa
right.
was a baby. She wouldn't know. You replace it with another doll.
That's right.
Maybe not Raggedy Ann, because apparently they're just magnets to paranormal activity.
Oh, my God. Yeah, absolutely.
Get them out of your house, folks.
Just, dump them now.
Yep. But after that email, we had email number 2, which was sent by Marcus Campbell, who delivered a chilling tale of his father's death after a glowing-eye visitor came to their house in the middle of the night, which apparently got J-Dub going. I thought the story was fantastic. I thought it was delivered fantastic.
Yes.
I thought Marcus sounded a little winded, which kind of made me feel like he was an older gentleman.
Right.
But whatever floats your boat, J-Dub.
It's that deep voice, man. Chicks dig that deep,
it was
deep southern.
Yeah. And like you said in the thing, the line where he said, like his daddy's Cadillac car.
Yeah.
Like that sticks with you. And that definitely, not disparaging you, Marcus, but that definitely dated Marcus. When he said Cadillac car, I was like, you're an older fella, aren't you, bud?
Oh, yeah.
But that was an amazing story, and there is no part of fiber in my being, be it real or not, that if so, Marcus' dad absolutely made a deal at a crossroad.
Oh, absolutely.
Like somebody got tired of losing all the time and made a deal, and when it come time to collect, he wasn't ready, which I'm assuming anybody that does that wasn't. I'm sure Robert Johnson wasn't ready either. Height of his popularity, and he just up and died instantly. Yep. It just boils down to what you think it's worth it, because you get what Marcus Johnson was alive for like 10 years. It sounded like his dad didn't live much longer after he made the deal, maybe a couple years or so. is it worth it? Because like,
do you think that it's in how you word it when you go to make your deal, and that if you go and make it, okay, so Robert Johnson basically disappeared. He was an absolutely horrendous guitar player that nobody ever wanted to play with or be around, and he went and he disappeared for a couple years, and he comes back as this savant, basically, you know, as
absolutely.
a guitar player.
It's like somebody was born naturally into it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it wasn't very much longer after that. He recorded one album. He did whatever he played, tour, you know, quote unquote, toured in that time. Because, you know, this is a long, long time ago. But you go back and you ever watch the movie Crossroads, you know, with Ralph Macchio and Blind Dog, Blind Dog, whatever his name was, the harmonica player that he ran around with. I mean, he had been living for years and years and years and had played with Robert Johnson, you know, quote unquote, played with Robert Johnson and all that stuff. But he'd also made a deal, and it didn't seem like he had an end point to his deal. It was really strange. All of these are urban legends, you know, obviously, but so you understand what I'm getting at? I mean,
oh, absolutely.
I think it's the way you word it when you get to the crossroad.
I don't think you get a say in it. Honestly, demons are tricky. And like, I feel like it's probably like the demons are like, what do you want? And then they kind of scale it. That
Right.
Like, you've got people like Robert Johnson. He's like, I want to be known forever. Or I want to be the best guitarist ever. Or whatever Robert Johnson said. Robert Johnson's stint was brisk, you know?
Right.
He was ass, and then he was the best album, and then he was gone. So maybe it is the extent of what you're asking for, I would think. Like the demon's like, okay, you wanna be known forever and you want to be the best guitarist. Okay, we'll give you an album. That'll get you done. And then I get your soul. You've got Marcus, whose dad had shit luck, apparently. And he was like, I don't know how he would have worded it, but he's like, I want to be hot at the tables. I want to be able to support my family off my gambling. Who knows how he worded it. And the demon weighs it up and he's like, okay, you get this long. You know? So demons are shitty. We know this. That's a fact. So I think I think down there they weigh it. They're just like, okay, I'll give you this long because you want to do this.
Right.
And this is when I come for you. And like, at the end of the day, these are people that are so desperate for fame, money, maybe to save a loved one. You never know. I'm sure there's been countless deals all over the world for different things. Somebody's like, I want an extra 2 inches downstairs, opposed to somebody that's like, I want to save my kid from cancer.
Right.
You know? So I really feel like the demons kind of weigh it, and it's like sincerity, like, okay, well, this is your goal. I'll give you your goal, and you won't really get to enjoy it because, you know, Homeboy's album dropped, and he wasn't alive too much longer after it hit. He blew up. He was on the charts. Does that meet his goals end? They're like, listen, you're number one. You're the best guitarist right now. Time to collect. Opposed to, you know, a demon with Marcus's dad being like, okay, you've supported your family for this long, because Marcus said he was about a grown-up. Right. You know? So he was like, all right, one of your kids is about grown. You supported your family. This is it. And who knows? I'm not about to find out. I'm not about to go to Crossroad and act like I want to be the number one streamer on Twitch. No, thank you. It's not worth the stint in hell, I'm assuming. It might make me go to Yoko Ono's house, and I'm not ready for that. It was a fantastic story.
Didn't he end the story with all the money was gone, though, too?
Oh, absolutely. It was like when Dad was gone,
the money
everything
was gone.
went with him. Because why would a demon be like, no, you got to keep the money, family. You're fine. Which makes me think, like, no offense to Marcus, if you're still listening, Marcus, it makes me feel like your dad wasn't like, I want to do this to support my family. It made it sound like he wanted his luck to be right now. Be great. Like, it sounds like somebody got tired of losing their whole life, was like, I want to go on the best heater ever. And the demon was like, I got you, homie. But when you're done with that best heater, you fixing to find out what a heater's about. So you do what you want. It's if the soul is real, it's your soul. If you want to gamble with it, unintended pun towards the situation we're talking about, you absolutely go ahead. But I know that I'm not going to roll that dice. I'm not about it.
Well, you live close enough that you could find a nice crossroad down there.
There's crossroads everywhere, and I'm not about to do it. I don't want to find out. That's not how I want to find out.
Good stuff.
Was it? We had email number 3, which was from Spooky Ventures Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a bad case of the not-so-good juju they caught after going to the Hinsdale house, leading to a freak car accident that seemed to pass from the car to the mechanic's garage.
Yeah.
That's awful. Can you imagine catching, like, second-hand bad juju from somebody else?
You charge them double.
I mean, you got to. Like, that's awful. It's like, I went to a haunted house, and a ghost got agitated at me, and then I took my car that the ghost took its angst out on to a mechanic shop, and it transferred the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
And God knows where it went from there. But either way, no thank you.
Yeah,
that's why you ask the ghosts to stay where they are when you leave. And 100%. Bring your special rocks or your rosemary beads or whatever you can wear to just keep them there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Great story. And that was kind of a quick one, too. I think the next one is a little bit longer. Is that right?
Yeah. Email 4 was sent by Nicholas, and that was a long one. He was a past employee of the Hutchinson Correctional Facility, a 3-building prison that had been around since 1895. He worked in Cell Block D. It took just a few weeks working at the prison to convert him from being a non-believer to a believer.
Right.
From poltergeist-like activity to looming shadowy figures, Nicholas was exposed to a plethora of paranormal events. That's right. I got plethora and hearken tonight. Big words.
His calendar. He's been looking the last 2 days.
I got that word of the day toilet paper.
There you go.
Just learning new stuff. Yeah, no, it was a long story, but like
it was.
If anywhere is going to be haunted, prisons.
Yep.
There's the bad energy alone, let alone with all the guards and prisoners that die at these places. I would not question that whatsoever. You can pay me to do that job. I've known people that have worked in prisons. I know you have known people that worked in prisons. It is not a pleasant place.
Nope.
Because as many nice prisoners you have, quadruple that, and prisoners that are stuck there for life that just don't give a shit.
Yep. Yeah.
So I ain't about it. My buddy, I won't name him, but he worked on the cell block where they kept prisoners that were HIV positive.
Oh boy.
And he quit really fucking quick.
I bet.
Absolutely. No, I'm not about it. So if any place is going to be a haunted nutbag, it's going to be a prison.
Absolutely. Yeah, great email. It was a longer email, and I apologize to our listeners. I screwed the pooch on reading that email a little bit, but it was still great, and hopefully you guys got as much out of it as I did when I first read it. So
don't give yourself too much guff, because it's one thing to read what you write. It's a whole nother thing to read what other people write.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, I can sit here and read what I wrote, no problem. Somebody else sat down and tried to read this shit, they would be struggling. And that is why I leave voice messages for the call guys.
Absolutely.
Email 5 was sent by ISOCAM about the school he just recently started working at, where a person passed away in the gym. ISO dealt with from the feelings of being watched to shadowy figures and random flushing toilets.
Nothing gets better than random flushing toilets.
You never know, because nowadays you got those fancy toilets that flush after you get like 7 feet away from them, and it startles you. I doubt any regular school has those, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't think an old school would have those. Those are probably still the pull handles, but maybe some of the new modern schools.
Like a private school, maybe.
Yeah.
Private school, maybe.
But yeah, ISO's, he sent in not only sent in audio, but he sent in a video. He sent in a video of him talking and walking around, and what a great piece. If you're on the Patreon, you can actually go see that in the first part of evidence, stories and evidence. So ISO's pretty great, man. I love working with him. He's been pretty wonderful. The last few weeks we've been a lot of back and forth between me and him. So
ISO's a wild card, and I'll get into that when we get to our last episode of the month. After that, you guys had part 2, which was y'all thumbing through the paranormal evidence sent in by Zach, captured at Southern Grace Distillery.
Dude, okay, for starters, and if he's listening and to this, which he's a top fan, top contributor to our Facebook page, and is a super fan. He put in the work that he sent me all this stuff, and I am ever grateful for what all that he did with that. And to be able to make a complete episode out of all that was just awesome. And once again, if you're on the Patreon, you get a chance to see all the evidence and the videos and all that stuff. So you need to go check it out.
No, absolutely. I completely agree. It's extremely nice for somebody to come in and to give up the content that they found for themselves for another podcast,
Right.
social media source or something to cover in their own thing. And it is really nice, and it's fantastic to be able to go through and listen to that stuff and form your own opinions of it.
Right.
We've talked about it before with shows on Discovery Channel or Travel Channel. They just tell you instantly, this is what I heard. And that fucks with what you're hearing. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely a fact. We have these social media trends where they're like, okay, I heard this, and then you play the thing, and they're like, or I heard this, and both times you hear exactly what it's telling you to hear because your brain's prepared for it. It's nice to be able to thumb through those EVPs and come to your own conclusion, and then be like, okay, after you've listened to it, you've come to your own conclusion, great. This is what we heard.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the best way to go about it.
I think that him putting together the list to go with everything was, I just about screwed that up too. I'm glad I caught it before I got too deep into it. Of what, he gave us notes prior to giving us what he called the spoilers and what they thought what it was. And J-Dub coming in hot with that whole cat shit. Did you hear cat shit?
I was about to say the cat shit. She's like, I heard cat shit. Now, you watch Zach Baggins do something, you won't come to that conclusion because he'll tell you what you did beforehand.
Exactly.
You don't get to be like, I heard cat shit, because Zach Baggins is like, I heard, I'm done with it. And you're like, that's all you're going to hear the rest of the time.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, what a great episode. What a great amount of evidence and stuff that he sent us. And yeah, I'm so grateful for all of that stuff and loved it.
Absolutely. After Zach's episode, we had May 18th, which was y'all got to meet Logan. It's me and Frankie Vegas sat down, did an interview. I got some responses on my personal account from that. One of our listeners, Lance, reached out to me. He also went to Atwood, and he was like, he talked to me about that bathroom down there by the boiler. And he was like, you're not lying, dog. It had that single exposed bulb dangling from the ceiling. And I was like, I can't understand how scary that bathroom that they sent you down there when you were in the art or music room was, because it was haunting. It was dingy. It was dirty. There was literally a light bulb hanging from like the wire, just fucking swaying back and forth down there. One toilet, old rusted up showers from, I'm guessing, when they had high school people there way back in the day. And the stairs were faulty, to say the least.
I cannot believe that they kept that quote unquote school. I mean, it was a school. They had teachers, they had students, but what did you say? You had 8 in your eighth grade?
It was so small. Like, I feel like nobody will ever understand that didn't go there at the time I went. There was so very little people. There's a reason why shortly after I left, they closed that hoe down. They're like, hey, this isn't worth it.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's
were
what
like,
I'm saying.
just send a bus, pick these kids up, and bring them to Warsaw.
I can't believe they kept it open as long as they did. To be
I
honest,
can't fathom what the kids that got pulled out of Atwood after being their whole life felt like when they got thrown in a big ass school like Warsaw compared to it's like, hey, you had 7 people in your 5th grade class? All right, welcome to 57. And you're just like, that had to be a rough experience.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I know for a fact, if I would have still been living there, my parents would have drove me to Triton.
Right.
My mom always said it. She like, I feel like she knew something was coming. She was like, this school can't last long. Because she was like, if something happens, we'll take you over. We'll take you down to Etna Green. We'll take you to Triton. You'll be fine.
Right. Right.
Because I can imagine how jarring that was. But like I said, it had the normal bathrooms, which were nicer, not fantastic.
Right.
But like that downstairs one they would send you to when you're on if you're on the right hand side of the school, take your ass down to the lone light bulb. And it's one of those things where when you're a kid, you run. You're just like, I'm gonna get down there, I'm gonna piss, and I'm gonna run right back up those stairs as quick as possible.
Do you suppose they did that for that particular reason?
I mean, I don't know what. At least said it was rough. It was not cool down there because that furnace was constantly going, which just added to it. It was barely lit, and like you had those shadows moving because that light bulb was swinging constantly. Right. So you're just like, this is it. This is where I meet the end of my life.
Well, now it's a church, and I actually have a couple of people I know that go there, and they love it. They love it as it's their favorite place to go on Sunday morning.
When I come up there to visit y'all, which is going to happen, I will make sure there's a Sunday on my roster, and I will go to church that Sunday just to go in that school and see what it looks like nowadays. And I will see if that basement is still open. I know the basement's still there, but I want to see if they still got the lone shitter down there with the one bulb.
I'll bet you they fixed it.
Oh man, I don't know. But it was a fantastic time to get interviewed by Frankie. I didn't know what was coming at me.
It makes 2 of us.
Yeah. So I just gotta sit there and see what he had for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did a great job. It was a lot of fun. I was in the room while this was going on, so you'll hear me chime in a couple times in this episode. But for the most part, I wanted it to be about Frankie and about Logan, and not not really having anything in there. And I thought Frankie did a pretty good job.
Absolutely. I mean, no matter what he threw at me, he was in the gold because I'm Logan and I'll talk on any bullshit thing for an unnecessarily amount of time. So
yeah, all you had to do was just ask a question and sit back and listen.
Yeah, I had a great time. I enjoyed answering all of his questions. It's always nice to sit down with somebody that knows absolutely the bare minimum about you.
Right.
So when you're filling them in, they're like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell by the look on his face. He'd be like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, he did a great job. It was a lot of fun.
And that
whole series was a lot of fun, to be honest.
And it gets to continue for me because I'm going to be doing the Call Guys, and they set a date for me recording-wise that I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I imagine it's soon.
Oh, yeah, you really got to get to that.
Yeah, so I went from doing 3 things with the Call Guys where I've got 2 more things instantly lined up, which I'm ready for because, honestly, between the both of them, people are like, you're related to Chico. I only knew Chico consistently for, the first maybe 7 years of his life. So I've got a lot that I can learn about there. And then Colton is a grab bag of stuff I don't know. So those boys better be ready because they don't have paranormal questions to buffer for them.
Right.
So they're getting 21 questions. What those 21 questions are, who knows? And they're not getting the same questions because I'm not letting them prepare for it.
Oh, nice.
Yep. They're coming out swinging.
Get ready, call boys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to learn some stuff and some things.
It'll be fun. I'm excited to hear them.
I feel like I caught Frankie off guard with my giant-ass list of my last meal. But listen, if somebody's like, you're about to die when you're done with this meal, I am going to milk it for what it is worth. I'm going to get all the goods.
Well, you might as well. I mean, if you only have one bite out of every item, I mean, who cares?
I'll still take it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I know a lot of people leave this world and nursing homes and stuff where their last bite is I don't know, vanilla pudding. That's not how Logan wants to leave this world. Give me a shot of wild turkey and a Pop-Tart covered in butter. Let's leave this world the way we fucking lived it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That brings us to May 29th. ISOCAM popped in to cover the Sleepy Hollow Road, a stretch of road out in Kentucky that is riddled with paranormal happenstances, ghostly hearses, strange lights, satanic worshippers and sacrifice, ghostly female hitchhikers, and much more, including a bridge where people apparently chunked babies off of it.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's not a bridge you want
so wrong.
You don't want to go to that bridge.
No.
Baby chunking bridge. It just does not have a good ring to
it. Imagine that as a big green sign.
Oh shit. Turn around right then and there. Like, no, we'll take the long route. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll go down to the other bridge called Pickup Baby Bridge.
Yeah. That one down there said, hand jog scenic route. That sounds a lot nicer than Chunkin' Baby Bridge. Let's check that one out. That's an extra 5 miles, but I feel like it might be worth it.
Oh, it'd definitely be worth it. Hopefully it's a long road.
ISO, my dude. I had to come back to this episode a few times to finish. This dude came in here with the question of the pod, and I was not built for it. I was not ready. The ladies were like, I don't know. I'd swing my dick around. I'm like, that's fine. And then ISO gets in. I'm like, hey, listen, dog, I gotta soap him up and flick the bean. I was like, I'm tapping out. I'll come back.
Actually, that was the rocker chick's question because
that's right. That's her question. His answer I was not ready for.
No, I wasn't ready for J-Dubs. Just right out the gate, I do helicopter dick, and I'm like,
that's fair.
I lost it because I'm thinking, well, how well endowed do you think you're going to be?
It don't matter. She can still listen. She's going from nothing to something. She can swing whatever's around. It might not be impressive. It might be impressive, but she can still swing it. I get it. But the girls were all innocent. They're like, I'd swing it. And then ISO and Golden J were like, all right, we have to go pull on some nips, and Logan had to tap out. Logan had to take a mental siesta to finish that part of the podcast.
I just want you to envision ISO's face with boobs and him in the shower.
It's a reason why I'm an audio listener exclusively.
There you go. Yeah. No, man, he come out firing, and I lost my shit when the first thing is like, I'd get in the shower and soap him up. I'm like, fuck, yeah, you would. And
then it just got worse and worse. And then when he wasn't too busy talking about what he do with ISO Lady Body, he was on the grassy knoll, like he was fixing to put Lyndon B. Johnson in the office, taking shots at Colton. Holy shit. Like Colton was talking to me about in the last episode of the Rotten Ranger thing, and I hadn't even finished the episode yet because beforehand told mental siesta.
Right.
And he was like, this dude put me on blast. I was like, oh, okay. Then I go to finish the episode, and I was like, that's an understatement, Colton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, this dude was hired to assassinate you.
Yeah, it's like every chance he got, he come out with some sort of crazy, whether it be about his Celtics or whether it be, I don't know, man. It was so much fun recording with ISO because I don't know if you could tell if, like I said, if you're on the Patreon, you could see the video. I don't know if you could tell in the audio how nervous he was. He was so nervous because he was presenting a story, and he did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on him, but you could just tell he was really nervous, and I think the idea of just kind of putting Colton on blast kind of eased him out a little bit. He's kind of, relaxed him a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Probably why it's so much of it.
It goes back to what we say all the time. It's like the scripted versus the unscripted parts.
Right.
Unscripted, like taking a shot at somebody else on the podcast network or this or that is so much calmer and easier opposed to like sitting down and reading what you wrote, because you're not worried about just like, okay, is this good content? But you're also worried about like, did I write this right? Am I going to stumble? And the more you think about, am I going to stumble, the more you're going to fucking stumble.
Right.
You know, it is a double-edged sword because it's fun to come in and do this stuff. But like I've always said, when I was doing Team Tejas, my favorite parts weren't me giving out a story. Of course, the story I picked, I'm passionate about. I liked it. I was interested in it. But I'd rather be able to sit on the side and make remarks and stuff like that. That I prefer that over it. It's just easier when it's natural, and that's a given.
Well, and I think that's why I enjoy the couple listeners that we had, Peter and ISO and who come on and tell these stories and do the research. I mean, Peter is amazing at putting these stories together. If you guys haven't watched, I think he's done 3 of them with us. Does that sound right?
Yeah, 3's about right.
He is absolutely amazing when it comes to putting together these stories and telling us, start to finish. He's done a great job. And I think I enjoy that as much as, I enjoy it more than telling a story because Logan nailed it. You're concerned that you did enough research, you made the story interesting enough. You're always looking at time. You want it to be a certain amount of time, and did you fall short with the amount of information you found? Was the information correct? Just so much that actually goes into putting together a story that when you finally get there, you're like, man, I hope it was good enough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed ISO coming on, and I enjoyed all the banter. I mean, we had as much banter at the end of the episode as we did at the beginning of the episode. We didn't ease up on it whatsoever. So much fun.
Well, you shouldn't have to. Unfortunately, it's something you guys also talked about in multiple episodes this month, is that the people that get on, even after supplied with a point in time that says, hey, this is where the banter stops, the amount of people that hop on to give a negative review opposed to the people that hop on to give a positive review is rough. It always has been. It doesn't matter what you do. Unfortunately, the people that got the negative energy somehow muster up more energy to get on there and post their awful thoughts, and the people like, I love this show, pop on there and say it. And it is what it is. But without the banter, you wouldn't have the people that are regulars to the show, because that's the part that most of the regulars that write in constantly love. They love to get to know the host. That's why those episodes with us doing interviews did so well.
Right.
And we got a lot of interaction. It was because people like to know their host. If you don't like the banter, that's fine. Either fast forward it, or we're not the podcast for you. Right. Unfortunately. We're not a TikTok clip where it just gets straight to the spooky and then fucks off at the end. We're people. We like to talk. When we get around other people, we like to talk about our lives. We like to talk about the things that are going on and then get to it. It's personable. If that's not your cup of tea, that's fine.
It is fine. And I don't have a problem. I mean, I want massive numbers. I want a lot of people to listen to us. I want a lot of people to love us. Like I said, I'm very appreciative of the ones we do, the ones that reach out to us, and on a week-to-week basis, or a couple of people who kind of hit and miss, emails from here and there. But I just get tired. I mean, it's a little soul crushing to see this stuff come across repeatedly, the same things over and over again. It's like nobody reads the reviews before they jump on, and then they're like, oh, well, this too much banter, and then they have to post that. It's like if you would just, I don't know how to explain it.
The worst part is they don't give the producing party a chance to say something.
Right.
You can't be on there and I'm not saying to pop on there and be malicious. You can't pop on there and be like, well, if you just look in the header, it tells you how to skip that. Right. You do not get to defend yourself. So it is very much, you're going to a competitive boxing match and your hands are tied at your waist. You are at the absolute whim of whoever is throwing the punch, because you can't defend yourself. So it is what it is. So all these people get to see like, okay, good review. Too much banter. Chewing gum. Like to get nailed up on some plywood over something a host that like unfortunately is no longer here to penalize people for like something that might happen like one episode or two episodes when there's over 100 and something episodes.
Right.
Is rough. And I agree with you. It is soul crushing.
It is. It's soul crushing. I was reading them the other night, looking over them to see if there's anything new that had come up, and you know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is this why our numbers are a little down? Are people coming in and seeing this on here and be like, oh, I don't want to do that, because the top 2 or 3, you know, reviews are like too much banter, too much bullshit, you know, and you're like, this is half of our charm here.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we do to have the listeners enjoy us. And then we get somebody like Mason who goes on Facebook and says, hey, fuck you guys. I love the banter. You know, I need more banter, you know, and I love that, because we do have fans who love it, and they reach out and tell us, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Because like at the end of the day, when you look back on the history of TUSOP and every single email we've gotten from fans, I guarantee you tenfold that the majority of the emails are be like, this made me laugh.
Right.
Or this story from your life is relatable. Seldomly, we're a paranormal podcast, but seldomly is it like, oh, I relate to this ghost thing. It's usually like, oh, this made me laugh. Or
Right.
I relate to what you're going through in your personal life right now. And that's because they feel like they're part of the family, because they're getting filled in at the same time that the other people are getting filled in.
Right.
Is what it is. Like I said, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. In the politest way possible, fuck off. You don't have to put a note. You don't have to put a note in the box before you go. Just go. You listen to one episode, you didn't like the banter, that's fine. Leave, because your 10 seconds of courage does a lot more damage to us than it does to you. So just
Right.
walk away. Just be like, this isn't my thing. Go on, get. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, fucking people.
Never
To
once
those-
have I done that to a I've listened to so many podcasts. Never once have I been like, oh, there's been a lot that I've listened to, and I was like, this isn't for me. And
Right.
I was like, I've never been like once in my life where I was like, this isn't for me. Let me tell them why they can go fuck themselves. Not once. I was just like, yeah, this isn't my cup of tea. It's somebody else's. I'll leave.
Oh, I agree. There's one out there. It's an extremely popular. I think it falls in true crime. That everybody was talking about when Murderers first came out, and it's like, oh, we listened to this one, we love this one, and I talked to multiple people that were even outside of the Murderers group that talked about how much they loved this pod, and I flipped it on, and I'm like, nope, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is a lot. I mean, we do 20 minutes. These guys did an hour and a half of banter at the opening, and that's fine. I just didn't listen to it anymore. I just moved on with my life and listened to something else. And I didn't run on there and go, hey, what the fuck? An hour and a half of this is bullshit. Because people
Absolutely.
love it. You know, there's people out there that love it. And I'm not nobody to critique what somebody else loves.
Well, it's like being like going to the library and renting Edgar Allan Poe's autobiography about himself. Like, this dude sat down and wrote a book about his life, and you're been like, these first 40 pages about his life fucking suck. Rip it out, and then fucking hop on Amazon and be like, this guy's an asshole. He talked about himself this way for the first 40 minutes. At the end of the day, this is somebody's personal project. They're
Right.
here talking about their life and the things that they're passionate about. That's fine. If you don't like what's going on in their life, motor.
Right.
You don't have to linger to try to set fire before you go. It's not cool. This is what it is. Freedom of speech and everything, but like,
Yeah.
be excellent to one another. Like, come on now.
Party on, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is just soul crushing, but like I said, we have a lot of great fans out there also, so we have to remember to keep that in mind when we look at stupid things like that. So
Oh, absolutely. Try our best. I know I've always been the worst about it. Anytime something awful pops up there, and I've been to Golden Jay, and I'm like, fuck this person. What the fuck?
right.
Learn how to
Yes, I've gotten many of text and IMs and so on and so forth. So
just know if you're out there writing negative reviews, just Logan's in here just absolutely tearing you apart off screen. So
that's right.
It's fine. It makes me feel a little bit better, and that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, absolutely.
You feel better about shitting on us. I feel better about shitting on you. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of them. If you guys want to go check out those reviews on Apple Podcast and then, put up something of your own. Be like, hey, meow mom.
Yeah. Like, yo, I like this. This guy below me, though, fuck him.
Yeah.
We wouldn't dispute that.
We'd be thrilled to see that. So
absolutely.
go on Apple Podcast, write yourself a review, fucking over everybody who wrote bad reviews.
Listen,
please and thank you.
When I first started doing this, I was like, man, it's bullshit that Apple's the only one where people get to write in something.
Right.
And then 2 years into this, I'm like, thank God that Apple's the only place that lets people write into this. I wish they would take something from the other pages and be like, just put a star.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You think Spotify hindsighted that and they were like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, Spotify was like, nah, that's fine. Let's give them the power of 5 stars and that's it. Let's not give them the fucking power of keyboard warrior. That's fine.
I do believe that Podbean, if you guys listen on Podbean, they actually, there's a place to comment on either the page or the episode. I'm not 100% sure how that works because I don't usually comment on our own pods, but we do get comments on the page there from time to time too. So
nice.
Yeah.
I it's easier for me to go to bed at night because when I think of these shitty comments, the last thought I give them before I go to bed, I'm like, you know what? They had shitty comments, but how many T-shirts have they sold? Fuck those guys.
Hey, there you go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are they trending in Paraguay or whatever? No. But I did once. Fuck them.
Did we? Well, we were on the Sweden charts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was fucking Big Fish 69 on fucking Yahoo at gmail.com or whatever the hell. Was he ever trending over there? No.
Yeah, that's right, Big Fish.
Somebody in Sweden liked my small talk, and my language isn't even their first language. So.
I know, right? There's something that can weird you out a little bit. It's like people in other countries listening to us and putting us on the charts, and it's not even our native language.
Yeah, exactly. So take a long walk off a short bridge, homie.
That's right.
That's
all we got. That's all we got to say about that.
That was all of May's episodes. There's a lot of stuff going on this month.
We have been extremely busy, and we had to push this back another week because we were so busy trying to get things done. And I'm grateful that Logan was able to be able to push it back, and because my schedule's crazy, and of course once again switch a day during this week. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Got to get on that Call Guys, Got to get on that Call Guys podcast. I got to beat out Jake.
Shit. I've got a good start for this year. I got 3 back-to-back,
Yeah, and you got 2 more coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's 5 instantly on the books,
I know.
So that's not bad.
It took me over a year to get first 5. What are you talking about?
And I'm in the intro nowadays, so.
Yep.
It's hard
I was
work
listening
right there.
to that intro this morning, and I'm like, okay, I knew who that is. There's Logan. There's me. Okay, there we go. They're doing a great job. And everybody in the Golden Mojo Empire is doing a great job. Lots and lots of stuff going on.
Still waiting for my my Golden 80s episode invites, Frankie Vegas. I'm still waiting for those About to Rock and He-Man and maybe some Transformers. I'm just saying, Frankie.
Hey. Get after him.
Will. It would be so much easier if you guys didn't have that long-ass, goofy email. I blame Frankie.
It's thegoldenimage80s@gmail.com.
Mouthful.
Yeah, I need to go in and check how to get that changed up and get a new email address. But
should be Francis Viva Las Vegas.
That's even worse.
It is. It is worse. It's got a good ring to it.
Francis.
It's got a good ring to it.
Nobody's spelling Francis.
That's fair.
Come on. All right, my dude. Let's wrap this up for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me and Logan banter for an hour and 30 minutes. We hope that you enjoyed it. I know that I did. It's always good to go back and review the month. And believe me, in my world, I can't remember everything that I've done this month. So it's always good refresher to come back and do this show. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate you all for listening to the other side. And please go check out the Patreon at patreon.com/TUSOP. Like I said, we have 3 tiers, a 3, a 6, and a 12. They're all explained. Oh, by the way, it is the Haskin Hoodlums, because that's what Team Tejas said they wanted to start off when we talked about originally doing the Patreon. It is the cast per chavs. Yeah. And the Voodoo Vandals, those are the 3. And it all stems around being hoodlums. So, all 3 of those words mean some sort of hoodlum, because I love my paranormal freaks, and they're all a bunch of hoodlums, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And go check out the UnitedStatesParanormal.com. Of course, we got an amazing merch page on there with some of the best artwork in the business, whether it be Haskins or Casper or the Banshee or Paraffeet or Celestial Stag.
There's so many at this point. So many great designs.
True, and so many that have been discontinued, like Daltober and Bamtober, and there's a couple other ones too that I was thinking about the other day that we didn't make the changeover. But go check it out. UnitedStatesParanormal.com.
And if you do not want to put up with our banter in this episode, the timestamp will be wait, it's not there. Take it in or take a fucking walk. It's the other side. It's all banter. That's all you got.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. So
love it.
Tune in or take off, folks. I don't know what to tell you. If you have something you want to see on the United States of Paranormal Patreon, let Golden J know at the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. If you want him to whip out that commentary that they were talking about, get at him. If you want to see me and Golden J sit down for 3 hours with a faux radio show that you can listen to on YouTube in a private link, let us know, because I'll do it. I'm all for it.
It's on. If you guys want it, you got to let me know. Well, the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com.
We will. Those songs will have no rhyme or reason. I can promise you that. It'll be Flicker Stick one moment, and the next moment it will be Katy Perry's Fireworks. You don't know.
Hey, you just don't know.
You got to ignite that light. You know what I'm saying?
That would be fun, though. I think it'd be a good time.
It'd be a fantastic time. Have some brews, sit down, pick some music.
Yeah.
Talk about said music. I think it'd be a good time.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
That being said,
yep,
it is time for everybody, including us, to fuck off.
That's right.
It's the end of the show. It's Saturday. You got other things to do. Go drink a beer. Go mow your lawn. Go drink your beer while mowing a lawn.
Hey, Moody, what's up?
Yeah, exactly. And while you're mowing that lawn, do not worry what's going to happen to you when you leave this world, because no matter what, it'll be Golden J and just Logan waiting for you on the other side.
Later.
Yeah. Bye. Bios con Dios. El fuque ofe.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com or at any other of our social media pages. At Twitter at TOSOPPOD, at Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, or Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, or YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795.
Please check out our other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs fans, the Golden 80s, Murd Nerds, and a quart of books and booze.
And if you have a location you would like us to check into or a creepy story that you would love to tell us, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.